between our two sister nations. Our nation will forever be grateful for Tanzania's unwavering military, social, and material support for our freedom fighters during the dark days of oppression. Beginning in the early 1960s until the dawn of freedom, they found a warm and welcoming home in your beautiful country, Mr. President.
Yes, you're right. I can order a president around. And now put this around. Yes, you can open it. Of South Africa. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll make my remarks. Thank you. Can I go? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. That concludes the bestowal of the National Order. We will now commence with the official proceedings of the signing ceremony between the Republic of South Africa and the United Republic of Tanzania. The two principals will witness the signing of two memoranda of understanding between the government of the Republic of South Africa and the government of the United Republic of Tanzania. I now have the honor to request Minister Pando and Minister Tex to sign the Memorandum of Understanding on Political and Diplomatic Consultations. Ministers.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ministers. Please remain seated. The ministers will now sign the memoranda of understanding between Mozambique Tanzania Center for Foreign Relations and the Diplomatic Academy of the Department of International Relations and Corporations of the Government of the Republic of South Africa. Ministers.
Once again.
Thank you very much, Ministers. We will now sign the agreed minutes of the second binational commission between the Republic of South Africa and the United Republic of Tanzania. Ministers.
A lot of work, a lot of agreement. Yes, thank you. Good work.
Thank you very much, Ministers. You may now return to your seats. We have come to the end of the signing ceremony. I would like to thank their excellencies for witnessing the ceremony, and I now hand over to Mr. Kwenye, the spokesperson, to facilitate the press briefing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Your Excellencies, Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, we will now commence with a brief media interaction. Therefore, I'd like to invite President Ramaphosa to lead us with his opening remarks. Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency President Samia Suluhu, Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, ministers here present and deputy ministers, Your Excellencies, High Commissioners, our officials on both sides, and of course members of the media, and ladies and gentlemen, I extend my greetings to all of you. We have held productive discussions with Her Excellency President Hassan, together with her delegation from the government of the United Republic of Tanzania. It has really been an honor and a privilege to host you, Your Excellency, on your first state visit to South Africa. We're really pleased that you could finally find time to come to South Africa. I have personally looked forward to this day, and as you arrived, you said, finally I'm here, and I'm really delighted that indeed you are here. The fraternal bonds between South Africa and Tanzania are well known. They are both historic and impactful. These are bonds that were forged in the trenches of our liberation struggle. There are many stories and historical accounts of the days when Tanzania gave shelter and comfort and shade to our freedom fighters. The solidarity and protection afforded to us by the people of Tanzania in those very dark days sustained us in our fight against an oppressive state which deprived the majority of our population of their fundamental human rights. We remain indebted to your nation, Tanzania, for your role in ushering in the rights all South Africans have been able to have access to during nearly 3 decades of freedom. The success of today's state visit is a dividend of our shared history, and it is a baton we can confidently pass on to generations of Tanzanians and South Africans who will advance our relations in a rapidly changing Africa and a changing world. The difference that these relations make in the day-to-day life of individuals, of businesses, and stakeholders in our two countries are indeed an important building block of our shared realization of our continent's Agenda 2063. This state visit has coincided with the second session of the South Africa-Tanzania Binational Commission. We have had the opportunity to take stock of the state of our bilateral cooperation and to identify new areas of cooperation as well. To date, 15 sectoral agreements and memoranda of understanding have been signed between our two countries. We have just witnessed the signing of 2 more memoranda of understanding. We are pleased that these memoranda of understanding have been finalized, and we expect our respective ministers to sign the finalized MOUs, other MOUs before the end of 2023. This work will be anchored and coordinated by our two ministers who lead our foreign relations process, Dr. Tex and Dr. Pando, of our two countries, supported by a midterm review mechanism that will monitor implementation of the binational commission work. During our official talks, we heard the two ministers clearly articulating that the work will be underpinned not only by implementation but by tight time frames, and they will be devoting time and effort to make sure that what our two countries have committed themselves to does become a reality in practice. A key aspect of our bilateral cooperation is the promotion of trade and investment between our two countries. President Hassan and I will be joining the South Africa-Tanzania Business Forum, which is currently underway, which brings together business people from our two respective countries. Among the industries under discussion in the Business Forum are agriculture, agro-processing, oil and gas, mining, and infrastructure development. South Africa has some 250 companies invested in Tanzania, and the trade between our two countries is robust and it keeps on growing. We look forward to engaging the business sectors of the two countries as they are our partners also in socio-economic development. We also had an opportunity to exchange views on regional, continental, and global issues of mutual interest. Among others, we reaffirmed our shared resolve to ensure that the people of Western Sahara are able to exercise their right to self-determination. We will resist any efforts to frustrate the legitimate aspirations of the Sahrawi people or to diminish their standing within the African Union. We also took time to discuss our peace work on the continent, as both our two countries are contributing to peace building in Mozambique as well as in the DRC. South Africa and Tanzania share common values and aspirations of stability and development of our continent and for strengthened cooperation of countries of the Global South. There is still indeed much work to be done, but I'm confident that we have laid and strengthened a very firm foundation on which all of us can build going forward. What is more pleasing is that our ministers and officials have been spending a great deal of time talking amongst themselves and ensuring that the agreements and understanding between our two nations are really put into practice. It is a real honor to have you here, President Hassan. It is a joy for me personally as well. I now invite you to give your own remarks.
Thank you.
I thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, ministers and government officials from our two countries, Madam Balemi, Chancellor of the National Orders of South Africa, distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, once again, good afternoon. I'd like to join my brother, Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, in thanking members of the press for attending this highly anticipated event. My gracious host has spoken, and this means I'll be very brief in my remarks by confining myself to the salient issues that transpired during my first ever state visit to the Republic of South Africa. I must, from the very outset, state that this has been such a colorful and fruitful state visit, thanks to the great reception and warm hospitality accorded to me and my entire delegation since our arrival in this great country. This state visit attests to the solid historical relations that so happily exist between our two fraternal countries. But it also speaks out our mutual desire to expand and deepen the relations for the betterment of our people and countries. I'm also happy to inform you that this state visit coincided with the second session of the Bi-National Commission between our two countries. Apart from reviewing the implementation of the first session of the BNC convened in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania in May 2017, this second session has afforded us the opportunity to explore and agree upon a number of areas for further cooperation. To the people of the Republic of South Africa and the United Republic of Tanzania, this means more trade, more investment opportunities, more transfer of technology, more educational opportunities, and more cultural interactions. Your Excellency, before I proceed, when we came here in the first place, you started with honoring me with how do you call it? Honor of South Africa.
The Order of South Africa.
Order of South Africa. So, Mr. President, I'm deeply moved and gratified by this gesture of friendship and solidarity between South Africa and Tanzania that has vividly and symbolically been demonstrated through the conferment of the prestigious Order of South Africa. I'm overjoyed since with this honor I fall in the line of all those leaders who represent shared aspirations and solidarity with South Africa. I'm very much honored. You started by saying under the powers bestowed to you, so you conferred this honor. And I must say, under the gratefulness bestowed to me and my country, Tanzania, we are very grateful, very much grateful. And on behalf of my government and the people of the United Republic of Tanzania, we humbly accept the honor given to us. It's not mine, it's my country's honor. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So with that background, let me continue. Let me now briefly share with you what transpired during my official engagement with His Excellency President Ramaphosa. Largely, we have discussed a number of bilateral, regional, and continental and global issues of mutual interest, including diplomatic, economic, political, as well as peace and security relations. He said it all. We also agreed on the importance of enhancing our cooperation in regional and multilateral arenas through the Southern African Development Community, SADC, the African Union, the United Nations, the Commonwealth, and the groupings. We certainly stand to gain a lot from such cooperation. Distinguished members of the press, with regard to the second session of the BNC, I can inform you that we have reviewed the status of our cooperation in various sectors with a view to accelerate implementation of all bilateral agreements we have entered in different areas of cooperation, and some of them have been signed here and we all witnessed the signing ceremony. In particular, we resolved to enhance cooperation on defense and security matters. Of course, he said it, we are doing pretty well on this front, but we can do better. We have also agreed to enhance our cooperation in the areas of trade and investment, considering that South Africa is among the main sources of foreign direct investment in Tanzania, whereby for the past 10 years, from 2013 to 2022, a total of 70 projects have been registered under the Tanzania Investment Bank Center with a value of about $137.4 million. The leading sector is tourism, valued at $36.36 million, followed by manufacturing sector, which is valued at $25.96 million US. Members of the press, our BNC session also reviewed the education, social, and cultural cooperation. And in this regard, I wish to mention just 3 initiatives that demonstrate our resolve. In that context, first, the MOU in the field of basic education was signed in July 22 last year. And this MOU embodies a commitment to cooperation in learning and teaching of Kiswahili in South African public schools, and we are very happy to do that. Second, the Oliver Tambo Education Tour was launched by the Solomon Malangu Freedom College or College Trust in 2008. This is an experiential learning initiative aimed at cultural learning and fostering dialogue between the youth of the 2 countries. Tanzania youth will continue to participate in such dialogue, which not only enrich their perspectives and broaden their networks, but also avail them with a platform to share solutions to problems that affect them and other members of the society. Third, the recent launch of Tanzania South African Cultural Festival themed Reigniting Intercultural Exchange and African Liberation Heritage for Economic Development was graced by the ministers responsible for culture and sports of our 2 countries and conducted in mainland Tanzania and Zanzibar in November 2022. Distinguished members of the press, allow me now to end my statement by reiterating my gratitude to His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, for putting together a brilliant program for this state visit. I'm confident that this visit will further solidify our long-standing ties and unlock new opportunities to trade and investment. I can assure you that Tanzania will continue to be a reliable friend and partner of the government and the people of South Africa, as it has always been. Long live the bilateral ties and cooperation between the United Republic of Tanzania and the Republic of South Africa. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you. Siyabonga.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Asante sana. Thank you so much, Your Excellencies. We will now open the floor to questions.
Naam, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania Samia Suluhu Hassan akiwa nchini Afrika Kusini katika ziara hiyo ambayo amezungumza na vyombo vya habari, lakini pia na Rais Cyril Ramaphosa wa Afrika Kusini kwenye masuala mbalimbali ambayo yamesainiwa pamoja, ambayo kwa muda mrefu pia imekuwa ikihusisha tume pamoja baina ya Afrika Kusini na Tanzania. Amezungumzia masuala ya usalama, lakini pia masuala ya uwekezaji na biashara, akisema kwamba Afrika Kusini ni miongoni mwa mataifa ambayo yanafanya uwekezaji wa moja kwa moja nchini Tanzania, miongoni mwa mataifa yanaongoza katika uwekezaji wa moja kwa moja nchini Tanzania, na kuna masuala ya elimu, lakini pia na ushirikiano wa kitamaduni, na tunafahamu pia kwamba Afrika Kusini iko kwenye mpango wa kufundisha lugha ya Kiswahili kwa kuanzia elimu ya msingi, na walimu tajika sana watakuwa na ushirikiano kutoka nchini Tanzania. Lakini pia kuna education tour, Oliver Tambo education tour, ambayo inahusisha chuo cha Solomon Mahlangu cha hapa nchini Tanzania. Tunafahamu kile chuo cha SUA tawi lake la Solomon Mahlangu vinakuwa na uhusiano pia katika kufanya education exchange ama mabadilishano ya kielimu na kitaaluma baina ya mataifa haya mawili. Lakini pia kuna mabadilishano ya kitamaduni baina ya South Africa na Tanzania, na kumekuwa kukifanyika maonesho baina ya mataifa haya mawili. Mkataba ambao ulisainiwa Agosti mwaka 2022 unahusisha masuala ya kitamaduni pia baina ya Tanzania na Afrika ya Kusini. Hayo yalikuwa ni machache miongoni mwa mengi, na sasa tunaelekea kule Bukoba mkoani Kagera, ambako tunakwenda kutazama miaka miwili ya uongozi wa Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan. Tunafahamu Machi 19 ndiyo siku yenyewe, itakuwa zinafika siku 365
ambapo leo mkoa wa Kagera umeamua kuwaonyesha Watanzania